So this is what we have. We are going to start with chapter number 6 today. If you have gone through it, I hope it will be clear while I discuss all these points. I'll try to cover like whatever is related to these before we start with the chapter. And anyone who has a question regarding the construction that I had shared yesterday, you can let me know. You can send a message to me on WhatsApp if you want. All right, so these are the basic terms that we come across while we are dealing with geometry. First thing I want to mention is जब हम geometry पढ़ते हैं till 10th standard, till 10th standard, you're only dealing with geometry in a plane. Means you're dealing with two-dimensional geometry. Later on in higher classes, if you take up math, you would realize that geometry is not limited to a plane, means it's not limited to 2 dimensions. It can be taken forward and extended to the space as well. So that's 3-dimensional geometry. So later on you work with 3-dimensional geometry with coordinates and all. So till 10th standard, we will be working with all the geometrical concepts with respect to a plane. So plane means a surface. Mathematics में हम plane बोलते हैं. In general language, you can call it a surface. So if you just look at your room is a 3-dimensional object or a 3-dimensional shape, and all the faces are 2-dimensional, and all the faces represent planes. So walls, the ceiling, the floor, they are all different planes. So जब हम बात करेंगे, हम एक plane के with respect to बात करेंगे. All the terms, all the definitions here. So first thing we have is line. So line is a collection of points, simply stating. I might not be going along with what's written here, so I'll just simply state. So a line is basically a collection of points in a plane. आपके पास plane में infinite points होंगे. If you have a surface, have infinitely many points on that surface. But if you collect the points in such a way that you're moving straight in a direction, and you can go in both the directions endlessly, then the figure formed or the curve formed will be called a line. And as such, it's written here, a line is denoted by this symbol where you put a little segment on the top with arrow ends on both sides. So that those arrows make it a line. अगर आप arrows नहीं लगाते हो तो वो line segment रहेगा. I think you are familiar with it. And since line can be extended on both sides endlessly, it has no fixed length. You cannot measure a line. So at any point, if you are forced to draw a line, you're not supposed to ask them what's the length. कितनी long बनानी है. This is a general phrase or a general statement or general query. The instinct of a child is to ask, ma'am, what's the length of the line? So you're not supposed to ask for the length of the line because a line has no length. Give me a minute here. All right. So after that, we want to name. You can name a line by taking any 2 points on the line. Line आपकी बनती है infinitely many points से. तो उसके ऊपर आपको सिर्फ 2 points चाहिए उसका नाम रखने के लिए. So if there are 10 points marked on a line, you have 10 points marked with different names. You can pick any 2 out of those, and you can write them together, those names of the points, and then you can put the symbol of line on top, and it will become the name for the line. The easier way to name a line is using a lowercase letter. आप lowercase letter से उसको represent कर सकते हो, and you just require 1 lowercase letter in that case. Then we have line segment. Line segment is part of a line. So if you just take a portion out of the whole line between 2 points, आपकी line के ऊपर infinitely many points है. आप एक point pick कर लो starting का और एक end point pick कर लो. Between those 2 points, if you just take the portion of the line, that will be called a line segment. And this line segment, since has terminating ends, आपको पता है कि कहाँ से begin हो रहा है, कहाँ पे end हो रहा है, it will have a definite length. And the mathematical tool or the geometrical tool you use to measure a line segment is a ruler. You can always use a ruler to measure the length of a line segment. Then we have ray. Ray is again a part of line. So if at any point on the line, आप line पे कोई एक point से line को separate कर दो, so line contains again infinitely many points. उस line के ऊपर आपके पास कोई एक point आप pick करो, उस point से आप line के दोनों directions को separate कर दो. So those 2 directions indicated by those portions of lines are called as rays or ray. And ray का नाम लिखने के लिए, I hope you all know what's the rule. Whenever you want to name the ray, it's not just like you name a line or a line segment. In case of line or line segment, you can always interchange. So this can also be written as BA. You can interchange the 2 points. So if there is a line, let's say, and you have points on it, so this is A, this over here is B. There can be infinitely many points in between, but I've picked A and B. You can write AB or you can write BA. Both are same for me. Similar thing applies to a line segment if you have a line segment. So I'm just taking the same line segment from here. Instead of taking the whole line, I'm only taking the portion between these 2 points. So from point A up to point B, this is a line segment, and I can name it as AB with the symbol of the segment on top, or I can name it as BA. I can reverse the order of the points. This works completely fine. But when it comes to ray, now when it comes to a ray, irrespective of the direction shown by the ray in the diagram or the figure, figure में ray जिधर मर्जी draw की हुई हो, whenever you want to name the ray, you always want to start with its initial point, जो fixed point है, जहां पे ये full stop लगा हुआ है, that's your initial point. And the direction in which the arrow is marked is the direction in which you can extend the ray. That direction will have 1 point, and that direction will have 1 point which can be shown, which can be represented by any point. So if I just name the fixed point as R, and towards the arrow side, I can take a point P. So the name of this ray will be RP, from R towards P. You cannot interchange here. Even if my direction in the figure would be the other side, even if my ray had been this way and R is here in the direction shown by arrow, I have P, the name will always begin with the fixed point. And after that, I show in which direction I have to go. This is very important. Then we have collinear points, collinear points. The name says collinear means co-linear. Co means together, linear means on a line. So if there are 3 or more points which form a line, so if in the plane, आपकी surface पे 3 points है, 4 points है, 5 points है, and when you try to connect those points, they form a line, then those points are called collinear points. And if they do not form a line, they are called non-collinear points. Now this is important. जब भी हम collinear points की बात करते हैं, we are always talking about 3 or more points. 3 or more points means because if you have 2 points, they will always be collinear. Am I correct to say that? Am I correct to say so? If I have 2 points, they will always be collinear?
No, ma'am.
On a plane, if I have 2 points, I can always draw a line which will pass through them.
Yes, ma'am.
But if I have 3 points, let's just, I'll just mark, this is a point A and this is a point B. So I can always draw a line which will, pass through A, and going forward, it will pass through B. So A and B become collinear, they lie on the same line. What if I have 3 points? I've got A, I've got B here, and then I've got C. Can I connect them using one single line? There will be one line which will connect A and B. There will be one line which will connect B and C. There will be one line which will connect A and C. So there are 3 different lines required to connect A, B, and C. As such, over here, these 3 are non-collinear. Whereas if I had A, B, and C this way, there would be just one line which connects them. So this is how collinear points work. Just a minute. I think. Give me a minute here. Wait. Okay, I was actually showing it without sharing the screen. So I've taken a few examples and let me just go over it again. So let's just take a few points here. So we have point A here. Let's talk about three different cases. I have got 1 point. Here I've got 2 points. And then I've got 3 points or more. So if I have 1 point, you can draw infinitely many lines through that. Yes? And we cannot talk about this point being collinear or not, because yes, there will always be a line which will pass through one given point. So in that sense, you can call that yes, 1 point is collinear. When it comes to talking about 2 points in a plane, आपके पास एक ही surface पे 2 points marked हैं, can you draw a line to connect them? And right now I have shown them in front of each other. If necessary, on your page, on your notebook's page, you could mark points anywhere, and you can always connect them with one line. Doesn't matter how far away they are. किसी भी corner में हो आपके page पे, means they are required to be on the same surface. That's the condition. If you have 2 points which are on the same surface, you can always connect them, and they will always pass through one line. They're always collinear. When we have 3 points or more points, then is the problem with making sure that they are getting connected by one line. So I'll just take 3 points here. So this is one way, and let me mark it in a different way. So A and B right in front of each other, and C is a little wavered. So right now, if I want to connect A, B, and C, I can just directly draw a line which will pass through this. So in this case, they are collinear. The points are collinear because they can be connected using one line. Whereas in this case over here, if I try to connect points A, B, there will be one line which will pass through these 2 points. I am not able to, even if I take it forward, I will not be able to connect it to C. I can connect 2 points at a time. So I can connect A with C. There will be one line which will pass through these two. I'm doing it with hand, so it's maybe just, so you can just draw a line which passes through A and C. This is another line. So I've got 2 lines. I still have not been able to connect all 3 together. So what I can do is I can again use one more line to connect B with C. So I needed 3 lines to connect them with each other. So this case is an example where the points are non-collinear. I hope I'm making myself clear. If you have any questions, please ask.
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, the 3 points, if are joined together, they will form a curved line.
When we, okay, technically speaking, जब हम मैथ में बात करते हैं, जब मैं line बोल रही हूँ, line by its definition is a straight path. So if we want a curved line, I need to mention that the line will be curvilinear. It will be a curvilinear path. अगर मैं simple word use करती हूँ line, this by default is straight. But if I want to specify, kindly mute yourselves, please. I have to mention about a curved line. I will have to specify. I will need to use this word. All right. This is important. Line by default will be straight. So when I say that I want to connect the points using line, that means I want to connect the points using a straight path. All the points should be connected with a straight path. The way your teacher tells you to form a row or a queue when you're standing in the assembly. आप बाहर नहीं हो सकते लाइन से. तो लाइन बनी है means all of you should be in straight path, one straight path. That's the example of a line. And in that case, जब आप assembly के लिए खड़े हो, बिल्कुल एक लाइन में खड़े हो, एक दूसरे के पीछे, तो वो जो बन रहा है वो collinear बन रहे हो आप सारे के सारे. If each of the students represents a point on the ground, then the queue formed by you people during the assembly, if you are standing in a straight line, provided अगर आप बिल्कुल सीधे खड़े हो, then that queue represents a line, and in that case, all of you with like being considered points will be collinear. अगर हम assume करें all the students are points in the plane, तो उस केस में आपको collinear consider किया जाएगा. लेकिन अगर कोई student है जो लाइन से बाहर खड़ा है, तो उसकी वजह से वो पूरा का पूरा lot जो है that becomes non-collinear. Anyone who would like to ask anything?
No, ma'am.
All right. So I think after this we have angle. This is simple definition. If you have two rays, two lines or two line segments with a common point. नॉर्मली हम ये डिफाइन करते हैं जब आपके पास दो रेज हों जो एक ही पॉइंट से ओरिजिनेट कर रही हैं. बट सिंपली स्टेटिंग, अगर आपको जनरल लैंग्वेज में किसी को समझाना है, अगर आपके पास दो rays हैं which have a point in common. So this is the common point and I've drawn two rays. If there are two line segments which have a point in common, these are two line segments which have 2 points in common. AB, AC, point A is common. AB, CD, point P is common. So you get angles formed. Same thing applies to two lines. Two lines could have a common point, and in that case, angle will be formed. An angle is formed between these two parts. Over here, you can also show the angle other way around. You will have over here, आपका यहाँ पे angle बन रहा है, एक इस तरफ बन रहा है. Now you understand the concept. So I'm just showing this. Earlier you were not shown this way. Definition हम ये लिखते हैं, when two rays have a common initial point, then an angle is formed between the two rays. And the symbol that you use is this one, and you're supposed to write down the path. So if I just name this as OP, the second ray as OQ, the name for this angle will be POQ. You can also go it the other way around, QOP, or you can simply write with the vertex. Provided आप सिर्फ वर्टेक्स तब यूज कर सकते हो जब आपके पास सिंगल एंगल बन रहा है. अगर आपके पास एक इनिशियल पॉइंट से मल्टीपल रेज ओरिजिनेट हो रही हैं तो आपके पास कितने सारे एंगल्स बनते हैं. यहाँ पे आप शोन 3 rays and they have like 3 angles formed in between them. So in this case you cannot name any angle using only the vertex. अगर आप एंगल नंबर 1 मार्क करना चाहते हो, there are 3 angles formed here. This is number 1, this is number 2, and combined is 3. You cannot just say O. Which angle would it be? Is it 1 or is it 2 or is it 3? So multiple angles के केस में हम सिर्फ vertex से एंगल का नाम नहीं लिख सकते, लेकिन अगर आपके पास सिंगल एंगल है, only one angle is formed, you can always use the vertex to name that angle. Preferably, you should always write down the points lying on the arms of the angle. These are the terms you have repeatedly discussed in classes. So these are the arms of the angle, the two rays which form the angle. So you need to write down one point on one arm and the other point from the second arm on either side of the vertex. Vertex के left right पे एक point एक आर्म का होगा और दूसरा point दूसरी आर्म का होगा. And you can even interchange if you want. Anyone who would like to ask anything about this? All right. So after this we have types of angles and this is based on the measure. Since आपके पास जो protractor आप use करते हो अपनी geometry box में, that protractor has measures from 0 to 180 degrees. And there are two scales. One is an inner reading and the other one is the outer reading. First thing we want to know is the geometric tool that we use to measure the angles. आपको अगर किसी भी angle का measure find करना है, the tool that we use is a protractor, and the protractor we use regularly in classes is the one showing a scale of measurement from 0 to 180. But there is a protractor which shows measurement from 0 to 360. It's a complete circle, which is used by architects mostly, or the engineering students who are learning about architecture. So if you want, you can just go online and search for it. A complete circular protractor which shows measurements from 0 to 360, and 360 is back at 0 degrees. So let's consider this, keeping in mind that we can measure an angle from 0 to 360, and when you actually measure from 0 to 360, you're back to the starting ray or the starting point. So if you have a measure of 0, both the rays are together, like hands of a clock showing 12 noon or 12 midnight. In that case, it's 0 angle, which is not studied about at all because it is not relevant. ऐसी situation हमारे पास नहीं होती. Moving on, 0 से जब आपकी value increase हो गई, but you're staying below 90. Greater than 0, less than 90 is acute. Exactly 90 is right. more than 90, less than 180 is obtuse, exactly 180 is straight, then more than 180 but less than 360 is reflex. So 180 से ज्यादा 360 से कम, ये सारे एंगल्स हम कहेंगे रिफ्लेक्स हैं. एंड व्हेन यू हैव 360 degrees it's a complete angle, and this is the angle formed when a clock moves, the hand of a clock moves around the minute hand. Let's say the minute hand moves around from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So the angle covered by that hand will be complete angle because it has just moved around all of the area of the clock. And then we can put these in pairs, complementary, supplementary. These pairs, complementary and supplementary, are formed on the basis of measures again. अगर आपके पास कोई दो angles हैं जिनका sum 90 degree बन रहा है, जिनकी values का total 90 है, then they are called complementary angles. If the sum of the measures of two angles is supplementary, then they are called, when the sum is 180, they are called supplementary angles. And it's not necessary for the angles to be complementary or supplementary to be adjacent. This is again an important thing. Adjacent angles as such, agar hum bole, they are the angles which have a common vertex, they have a common arm, and the non-common arms lie on either side of the common arm. आपने ये repeatedly पढ़ा हुआ है. Anyone who does not know what adjacent angles are? So let us say we have an angle, and right next to it, using one of its arms, either this one, इस arm को use करके मैं एक और angle इसके साथ बना दूं, or if I use this arm, if I use this arm and I draw another angle, then the angles formed will be adjacent. So angle number 1 and angle number 2, they are adjacent. This is the common arm, and the non-common arms, they are on either side. Either side means on left and right, opposite sides. In simple words, in layman's terms, you would say कि opposite sides पे हैं. Common के एक तरफ एक arm होगी, दूसरा angle दूसरी तरफ बनेगा. Like your two rooms in the school or at your house. आपके घर पे अगर दो rooms हैं which share a common wall, that wall will be called the common arm, and the rooms act as angles. Just an overview, not exactly. क्लासरूम में भी अगर आप बैठे हो अपने, आपके जो adjacent sections हैं, one on the left, the other one on the right, they are adjacent to you. So that's how adjacent angles are. They have no overlapping path. Simply stating, अगर आप verify कर रहे हो कि आपके angles adjacent हैं या नहीं, none of the angles, neither of the two angles should contain the other one. Let me just show this. If this is angle 1, this is angle number 1, and this is angle number 2, can I call them adjacent?
No, ma'am.
Why?
No.
What will be the reason?
Ma'am, because angle 2 overlap angle 1 to form
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Huh? Simply stating angle 2 is containing angle 1, so they are not adjacent. They are only supposed to share the arm. They're not supposed to share the values. So यहाँ पे अगर हम by definition check करें, जिस तरह से मैंने अभी बोला है कि एंगल 2 कंटेन कर रहा है एंगल 1 को, ये बिल्कुल सिंपल तरीका है आइडेंटिफाई करने का कि हमारे एंगल्स एडजेसेंट नहीं है. लेकिन अगर हम बाय डेफिनेशन चेक करें तो एंगल नंबर 1 which is highlighted in this blue color and angle 2 which are shown in pink color, their common arm is this one. Instead of these and these, this becomes the common arm. This becomes the common arm, the one over here. Because this is shared by the blue angle, this is shared by the pink angle as well. And the non-common are these one. This is the non-common one, and this is the non-common one. Now the non-common arms are together on one side. Both of the non-common arms are on the same side of the common arm. They should be on opposite sides. This is by definition, which becomes quite complex when you're trying to understand it. So simply stating, आपके पास, yes.
How does angle 1 and angle 2 are not adjacent?
Okay, by definition बेटा, अगर हम definition follow करते हैं ना, तो आपके पास जब adjacent angles बनेंगे, उनकी सिर्फ एक arm common होनी चाहिए, एक vertex common होना चाहिए, और उनकी जो बाकी दो arms हैं. Let's just draw a sketch here. This is a common figure. So right now, this figure has three angles. This is angle number 1, this is angle number 2, and if I combine these two, this will be the third angle, right? So let's not just show that for the time being. आपके पास ये दोनों angles हैं. If I look at these two angles, I can see that angle 1 का जो vertex है, वो ये वाला point है. For angle number 1, this is the vertex. Similarly, for angle number 2, the vertex is this point. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And let's look at the arms. I'll just try to, okay. This is arm of angle 2. This is arm of angle number 2. And this is vertex of angle 2. Let me know if I have written correctly. ये आर्म्स जो हैं, ये वाली रेस एंगल 2 को फॉर्म कर रही हैं, तो इसकी आर्म्स हुई और पॉइंट O is the vertex of angle 2. Now let's go to angle number 1 here. This is the arm of angle 1 and this also is arm of angle number 1 and this here is vertex of angle 1. What do you observe from this figure?
That angle 1 and angle
They
2 are
share
having
one
common
angle.
arm and common vertex.
Yes. Vertex भी share हो रहा है इनका, एक arm share हो रही है, right? They are sharing the vertex, they are sharing an arm. Along with these two conditions, they are sharing a vertex. They have a common vertex and one of the arms that is also common. But what about the other two arms? Angle 2 की जो दूसरी arm है, angle 1 की जो
non-common arms lie on either side.
Yes, the non-common arms, they are on either sides. Either sides means they are on opposite sides. Angle 1 की जो second arm है, वो left पे है और angle 2 की जो second arm है, वो right पे है. These should be on opposite sides. They cannot be on the same side. I will just draw another figure where you will see that this doesn't work. So let's say we have the same figure. I'm going to now mark the angles differently. So let's take this as angle number 1 and this as angle number 1 and this as angle number 2. So if I had to write down, this is arm of angle 2 and this one is arm of angle 2. And over here I've got vertex of angle 2. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's look at angle 1 now. This is arm of angle number 1. This is also arm of angle number 1. And this is also the vertex of angle number 1. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes.
Now let us see what they have in common. They still have a
Vertex
common
and
vertex.
arm.
They are sharing the vertex, yes. They are sharing an arm also. But what about the arms which they are not sharing? Are they
They
on
lie
opposite
on the
sides?
same side.
They are on the same side.
They are on the same side. In this case, they are not adjacent. And इसको अगर आपको सिंपल वे में अंडरस्टैंड करना हो, अगर आपको इतनी ज्यादा टेक्निकल डेफिनेशंस में नहीं जाना, तो आप इस तरह से अंडरस्टैंड कर सकते हो. एंगल 2 ये वाला है, यहां से यहां तक, और एंगल 1 आपके पास ये वाला है. So angle 2 actually contains angle 1. Angle 2 contains angle 1 or angle 1 is actually a part of angle number 2. तो इस तरह के केस में adjacent angles नहीं कह सकते हम इनको. I hope the difference is clear. Here you can see they are having separate parts. यहाँ पे angle 2 बन रहा है and over here you have angle number 1. So they are separate. In that case, you can call them adjacent जब वो बिल्कुल अलग अलग हैं, opposite sides पे हैं, contain कर रहे हैं तो adjacent नहीं कहेंगे हम उनको. I hope it's clear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. After this, we have, okay, one thing I wanted to discuss was, जब हम बात करते हैं complementary और supplementary angles की, हम बोलते हैं कि जिन angles के measure का sum 90 होगा, they will be called complementary. जिन angles के measure का sum 180 होगा, उनको हम supplementary angles बोलेंगे. The condition that is we are only taking two angles, pair होगा, complementary में भी pair होगा, supplementary में भी pair होगा. If you have more than two angles, pair नहीं बन रहा, ज्यादा angles हैं और उनका sum 180 बन रहा है, then you can have to write down that the sum of the three angles. You cannot call them supplementary or complementary anymore. Remember that. Second condition is, along with taking two angles for complementary or supplementary angles, they need not be adjacent. जरूरी नहीं है कि वो साथ साथ बने हुए हों. Like in this case, यहाँ figure में जो draw किया हुआ है, these are adjacent. यहाँ पे जैसे शो किए हुए हैं, this angle and this angle, they are adjacent, but it's not necessary. हो सकता है आपके पास एक एंगल 60 डिग्री का सेपरेट बन रहा हो, एक एंगल 30 डिग्री का कहीं और बन रहा हो. So this is 30 degree in measure. Still, they are complementary, even though they are not together. They are still complementary. We are only focused or concerned about their sum, not where they are in the plane. Same thing applies to supplementary. We only look at the sum, not where they are lying in the plane. Now, if these two conditions happen to be true together, आपके एंगल supplementary भी हैं और adjacent भी हैं. What kind of angles are those?
Linear pair.
Yes. Yes, two angles which are together, which are adjacent, right next to each other. This figure, दो angles हैं, साथ साथ हैं, और इनका जो total बन रहा है, the total is 180. This here represents a linear pair. So when there are two angles which are supplementary and adjacent, the pair is called a linear pair. And that's another way how you can define a linear pair. The simpler way is to say that two angles whose non-common arms form a straight line. I think that will be next. This is something which I mentioned yesterday, intersecting and non-intersecting lines. So we will be concerned with two lines in a plane. अगर आपके पास एक surface पे दो lines हैं and they cross each other, they have a point in common, then they are called intersecting lines. This is another way you define. If there are two lines with the point in common. So line L and line M have point O in common. In the figure you can see line L passes through O, line M passes through O. O belongs to line L, O belongs to line M as well. So this is a common point for both the lines. In that case, you call them as intersecting lines. और layman की term में हम क्या बोलते हैं? बिल्कुल अगर किसी को simple way में समझाना हो, जब lines cross करती हैं एक दूसरे को. When two lines, you draw two lines on a surface and they cross each other at any point, then we call the lines as intersecting lines. And this is always about two lines. अगर आपके पास दो से ज़्यादा lines हों, if you have more than two lines and they have a point in common, what do you call them?
Concurrent lines.
Yeah, that's right, concurrent lines. And if we talk about the common point, if you have two lines having point in common, this is called point of intersection. And if there are three or more lines having a point in common, that's called point of concurrence. The example of concurrent lines would be the lines of symmetry for a circle. If you draw the lines of symmetry for a circle, all of them will pass through the center. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes,
so there will
ma'am.
be infinitely many lines passing through the same point. So more than two lines having a point in common, they will be called concurrent lines, and the point which they are sharing or the point which they are intersecting each other, simply saying. So वो point क्या कहलाएगा? Point of concurrence. Do look it up. And then we have non-intersecting lines, the lines which have no point in common. If those lines, अगर आपके पास कोई ऐसी दो lines हैं जो the ones which have no point in common, जिनका कोई common point नहीं है, and they lie on the same plane, then they are called parallel lines. Now, if you look at the two surfaces of the room, we are not in a room together right now. Otherwise, I would have shown. अगर आप अपनी classroom में होते, you can always see those electrical fittings on the wall. And that's the example which I generally give to the students to explain that there could be two lines on two different planes which are non-intersecting, but they will not be parallel. They will not be parallel. अगर आपके पास wall पे एक line है और ceiling पे line है, and they are not intersecting, you cannot call them parallel lines. For the lines to be parallel, they need to be on the same surface. So two lines in the same plane which do not intersect at all, and even if extended endlessly, आप उनको जितना मर्जी extend कर लो, they will never cross each other. Those lines in the plane are called parallel lines, and the perpendicular distance between them remains same at all points. And sometimes in questions, जब हम बात करेंगे, whenever we say distance between two parallel lines, it will automatically be perpendicular distance. It is by default. जब हम बोलते हैं distance between two parallel lines, it will be the perpendicular distance between the two lines given. Anyone who would like to ask anything?
Ma'am, but if the non-parallel lines would not be non-intersecting lines would not be parallel,